unit. The topic of the unit is precessional motion and gyroscopic couple. So first we will see what is gyroscopic couple and applications of the gyroscopic couple. Next, what are the where we use gyroscopic couple practically and where it is used in remaining applications. Okay, so first, what is gyroscope? So generally when a object is rotating or revolving or spinning, so rotating or revolving or spinning, both are all are same. So when an object is rotating, to measure the orientation on the principle of the angular momentum. Okay, so when a body is rotating, so to measure that body orientation based on the principle of angular momentum, so that is considered as gyroscope. So mainly gyroscope is used for a measuring any object is revolving. So that revolving object we have to measure the orientation based on the angular momentum. Okay, so gyroscope means to measure the orientation based on the principle of angular momentum when a body is revolving. Okay, gyroscope means it is a device for measuring the orientation based on the principle of angular momentum. Okay, so next one, gyroscope is generally when we consider gyroscope means always we have to apply the rotating bodies or spinning bodies. Okay, rotating or spinning equal, so always we apply gyroscopic principle on rotating bodies. So here gyroscope is spinning wheel or disc mounted on the axle is free to rotate any direction. So when it is rotating, there is no restrictions. For example, we will take only x direction, only y direction and z direction. So it will rotate different directions. Okay, so finally what is the function of gyroscope? Gyroscope is a device which is used to measure the orientation by using the principle of angular momentum. So when we consider means always we consider rotating bodies or spinning bodies. Okay, next, so this is the gyroscope diagram. Here this is the gyroscope frame, spin axis and rotor and gimbal. So here always rotor is rotating or spinning. So this is the rotor, always rotor is rotating or spinning. So here spinning axis is always perpendicular to the rotation of the rotor. Okay, spinning axis is always perpendicular to the rotation of the rotor. Next one, so when a body is rotating in different directions, so always here some kind external torque is acting. Okay, so to minimize that external torque, so here we have gimbal is there. So here gimbal is used. The main function of the gimbal is to minimize the torque for the rotor. Okay, so here the gimbal orientation is nearly fixed. Okay, so this is the gyroscope. So gyroscope is nothing but when a body is rotating, to find the orientation of that body based on the angular momentum. So here spin axis. So spin axis means the axis which is perpendicular to the rotation of the rotor. Okay, next one, gimbal. So main function of the gimbal is always rotor is rotating in different directions based on different orientations. So when it is different orientation, it has more torque. So to minimize the torque by using the gimbal. So here gimbal is nearly fixed. Okay, next slide, properties of the gyroscope. So in that first one is rigid body. So rigid body is nothing but ideal body. Ideal body means there is no force acting on that body. So that means there is deformation is zero. Okay, rigid body is nothing but ideal body. So ideal body means when there is no forces acting on the body. Forces act force is not acting on the body means it is there is no deformation. So when the body is deformed, when we have to apply some force, the body is automatically deformed. But here we cannot use it any force, that's why it is called ideal body. So here rigid body means the axis of rotation of the gyroscopic wheel tends to remain fixed direction in space if no forces is applied on it. Okay, so rigid body means ideal body. Next one, precision. So the axis of rotation has the tendency to run an angle to the direction. So generally precision means when your body, for example, we take one body, okay, so when take one body, we have to apply some force at the top of that. So here we have the axis of spin, this is rotor rotating. So when we have to apply some force at the top of the gyroscope, it would be fall down because of gravity, okay. But when it is spinning means stays upright, okay. So when it is spinning, so spinning means here it is some fixed point, based on the fixed point it is rotating in different directions. So this effect causes the precession, okay. So precession means change in the orientation of the rotational axis of a rotating body, okay. Change in the orientation of the rotating axis of a rotating body, okay. So always spinning means based on that one fixed point it is rotating, okay. So when it is rotating, so always it is not constant, the rotation is takes place different directions, also changes the different orientations. So that means precision means change in the orientation of the rotational axis of a rotating body, okay, that is precision. Next, coming to the applications of the gyroscope. Generally gyroscope is used in automobiles, two-wheelers, next one electrical industry, next one వచ్చేసి aircrafts, novel fields. So any body is rotating, so we have to apply the gyroscope on that body, okay. So first applications when consider automobile. So when consider automobiles, where we have to use that gyroscope. For example, I consider automobile. So automobile means car, okay, two-wheelers, all these are coming under automobiles. So where we have to use this gyroscope on automobiles. So gyroscopic behavior is used in automobile. This is for example when consider in automobiles, car, I will consider car as automobile here. So car engines act just like as a gyroscope, okay. So here rotation is depends on the engine, okay. So that's why here car engine acts like as a gyroscope, because on that gyroscopic forces from the engine. So depending on whether the engine is spinning clockwise direction or anti-clockwise direction. So while driving car, so it is rotating by applying some forces, the orientation is takes place. So whether it is rotating in clockwise direction or anti-clockwise direction. So in automobiles the engine is used as a gyroscope, okay. Next, coming to the two-wheelers. So when consider two-wheelers, that is motorbikes, here the wheels are acts as a gyroscopes, okay. So wheels on motorbikes acts as a gyroscopes, and the bike is easier to balance because of it is only upright position, stay upright only, okay, when it is moving, okay. So wheels are used as a gyroscopes in two-wheelers. So this is very easy to maintenance. Next coming to the aircrafts. So in aircrafts, where we have to use the gyroscope, in aircrafts gyroscopes are used for changes in the direction and altitude, okay. So direction and altitude, gyroscopes used in the used for changes in direction and altitude. So direction change avutundi, at the same time altitude. Next one is novel field. So novel field means ships. So generally where we have to use gyroscope in ships means pinching, steering, rolling. So these based on the gyroscope is used these three, okay. Rolling, shipping, pinching in ships. We will see later. Next one, electronic industry. So electronics industry means, for example, we consider video game. When we playing video game, sometimes we have to rotate and playing. So that rotation also there is a gyroscope effect, Okay, so that also we can measure the orientation with the help of gyroscope. Next, computer mouses. So computer mouses also we have to rotate, so there also we use gyroscope. Yeah, remaining, okay, the remaining, for example, kids playing toys. Okay, kids playing toys means some of the toys like Vayosu, next Fisher bees. So for example this, so here this is the top position, so at this top position we have to rotate this one. So when it is rotating, so there is some orientation, to measure that orientation based on the gyroscope. Next one, it is also here one small thread is given, so based on this thread we can rotate this object. So when it is rotating, there will find out the gyroscope. Okay, that means to measure the orientation. Okay, so these are the applications, and where we have to apply the gyroscope in different fields. So all these are the introduction of the second unit. Okay, next we will see what is the real topics available in our syllabus. First I explained what are the, why we used gyroscope and where we have to apply the gyroscope. That's why I explained all these. Okay, so you will see this. Next we will go to the real topics later. Okay.